welcome. Today is June 18th, 2024. Welcome to the Mortgage Stock Community Tuesday live event. We meet every Tuesday for about 30 minutes, usually give or take, and we talk all things Encompass. And we've got live chat on here in case you want to use chat. Brian was so busy trying to document, broke it up into two separate spots. Brian beat you, Chris. There you go. For everybody else, if you're joining, thank you very much for coming. If you're listening to us on replay, totally cool. If you can get here live, that means you can ask live questions. I know if Luba makes it on here, she's got a question we're going to talk about. I am a traveling salesman for the next 2 weeks. Chris just, so for those that don't follow this shenanigans of first to be the first person to chat, that's another reason to get live, to be the first to chat, to beat Chris. So Brian, he basically says he didn't earn it, he gave it to you. So I think that's kind of rude, Chris. Just say. Anyway, for the rest of us, you can come up on stage, and that just means you can either enable your microphone, or you can come up on video too if you want to share screen, especially if you've got something going on in your environment. But that's why we meet. That's why we meet. Today's topic is when are there too many DDM rules and when to use them. We really talk about, for the month of May and the month of June, we're talking all about Encompass self-health checks. I've been spending a lot of time talking to everybody, not only about their business rules. You know, last week, if you missed that episode of the community call, we spent a lot of time going through business rules, but then also going over the native functionality that Encompass has inside of it to show you what's taking up time when you go to save. And so pop quiz, has anyone actually tried that? And if you did try that, were you surprised by what you found? So basically, for those, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I showed you how to go in and use the full diagnostic mode, as long as you have the save bar enabled in your admin tools. And when you enable full diagnostic mode, you can go into your environment and you can see how much time is taken up by Encompass to actually save your file. So don't know if you did that. If you did do it, I'd love to hear what your save time was. I think an average save time, and again, everybody's a little bit different, but I think an average save time of around 5 seconds is probably fairly average. If you're well north of 5 seconds, it's probably something to pay attention to. And I think, again, in last week's call, it was mentioned in chat that ICE can give you this 30-day look back for like what your plugin time is running, which I think is good. I think that's kind of a partial story, though. The full story is actually the thing I went through. And so Jeremy asks, would this only be for Smart Client? And so Jeremy, are you asking, would it also affect Encompass web save times? You have to tell me more about that question. Yeah, so Encompass, remember, so to answer your question, would this only be for Smart Client? Yeah, for desktop. I like to call it Encompass Desktop because it's easier to remember than Smart Client. So yeah, the methodology we went over last week was exclusively for Encompass Desktop, mostly because Encompass Web is on the ICE AWS servers, right? So those things are going to run smoking fast. Your save time on web, that'll be interesting to see what happens as custom tools come in and obviously plugins get installed. That'll be interesting to see. But yeah, your save time on web, it's usually less than a second. Save time on desktop, again, I talked about this earlier in health checks. I think it was like the beginning of May. I don't know if anybody's done this again, where you literally take a stopwatch on your phone or something and take 3 measurements for each of the following.